you know, the FBI, anybody looking into this kind of knows. They know because, you know, they're using it on U.S. citizens. These agencies are using it on U.S. citizens. Um, so they weren't affected at the same place at the same time. So it's not like, and I think it was about 16 State Department workers, United States State Department workers at the embassy. They weren't just attacked in the embassy. So you know, it wasn't just devices put outside or inside of the embassy. Which, if there were devices put inside the embassy, I mean, think about it. There's so much surveillance inside of the embassy. You know, nobody who was an enemy of America could have gotten any kind of devices inside of the embassy. But also, the State Department workers were attacked at their separate homes. There's 16 separate homes. So putting devices outside of all their homes, so they're attacked at the embassy, they're attacked in their cars, they're attacked in their homes. This is the same way that targeted individuals are attacked. In our homes, in our cars, where we go to work. It's remote. It's remote attacks using directed energy, where it could be labeled as sonic attacks. You know, you have the high pitched sound in your ears, the burning sensations, and everything like that. Um, Second story highlight: they suffered a variety of physical symptoms since late 2016, resembling concussion. Now, let's think about the timeline of when they were experiencing these physical symptoms. From 2016, from the end of 2016 all the way to now, which is, you know, I guess it was in August that this was reported. Um, so that is about, you know, about 9 months. About 9 months, but they were experiencing before that. They were experiencing break-ins to their homes, break-ins to their cars, you know, harassment from people in Cuba. So gang stalking. They were experiencing gang stalking in Cuba before this electronic harassment, which is what TIs call it, began in late 2016. It may have began before, but what we're hearing is there a unified story of the 16 State Department workers saying that, you know, it started in late 2016. Now, another story highlight: the FBI is now looking into the matter. It's very strange, one official said. And that's probably all that we're going to get from our agencies, because they are using these things in our country, you know, to experiment and target, you know, American citizens. And they are being used all around the world to target world citizens, not by our country, but by their own military-industrial complex and agencies. Um, so guys, let me read this other part. Let me see. The employees affected were not at the same place at the same time, but suffered a variety of physical symptoms since late 2016, which resembled concussions. Now, so you've got these are 16 State Department workers, which they didn't say how many were in this article, and I kind of think that they put out certain, they kind of take out certain very important information. How many were attacked is a very important thing, because that makes one think, wow, how did they get so many devices outside of all their homes and in the, you know, outside of the embassy, and, you know, in their cars? 16, that's a lot. So they left out the number of State Department workers in this article, which they put it in other articles. So, you know, check out many articles on this. But the deal is, they weren't at the same place at the same time, but they were still experiencing, you know, the symptoms, the sonic symptoms to their body, the concussion-like symptoms to their head. Now, as TIs, we know of something called remote neural monitoring, where they're trying to pick up signals, you know, from our brain and from our nervous system, you know, to basically get, you know, to basically get information on, you know, how we're experiencing pain, visuals in our mind, inner voice stuff, you know, the surveillance of the human body, surveillance of the human brain. Now, I think that the tinnitus sound has a lot to do with that. Other TIs kind of argue that maybe that is just a traumatizing part, and then when it's quiet, that's when they're remote neural monitoring. But I think that, to dig into somebody, to get a radio receiver signal to surveil their body, there has to be, that high pitched sound, that acoustic trauma from those that way of surveillance. So the remote neural monitoring can be done remotely from cell phone towers. So it'd be like they have a mobile station, and it's just like they would send a signal to a cell phone, or receive information from a cell phone by a mobile station to satellite to a cell phone tower. And so this would be a remote attack. I think these were remote attacks from what I'm adding up, from them being attacked in different places at different times, in all 16 of their homes, in their vehicles, in the embassy, outside of the embassy. There wouldn't be enough devices to attack them all at different times in different places. So it would be exactly how TIs are being attacked. So guys, I guess I'm gonna go ahead. I'm only at 20 minutes. This was a lot shorter than I thought it'd be. This is kind of just the start. I just kind of I'm gonna read some other articles on it, and editorialize. But my initial instinct is we need to jump all over this story. We need to jump all over this story while it's in the minds of the public of the United States, and probably all around the world. Probably TIs all around the world are looking at the story. So we need to jump in on this, investigate it, editorialize, do videos on this. If you're a TI that does videos, please do a video on this story. It's very important that we connect this in the minds of non-TIs in America to our situation. These sonic devices, as they call them, and they didn't go too deep into there. We call them directed energy weapon systems. Like we know, like as a TI, I know that that these are directed energy weapon systems that use electromagnetic frequencies that can show up as sonic attacks, can appear as bodily attacks and things like that. But it's really using the whole electromagnetic spectrum, which is sound. It is microwave, it is X-ray, it is a lot of different things. The whole electromagnetic, it's radio frequencies. So the electromagnetic spectrum has a lot on it, that they're using. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I want to just say, guys, we got to jump on this story, and non-TIs, please look at this story and try and connect it in your mind with what TIs say, with how we describe electronic harassment, how we describe being gang stalked, which these State Department workers describe break-ins to their home, break-ins to their cars, harassment from Cubans. So they were gang stalking these State Department workers over in Cuba. They were using the same tactics that are being used on targeted individuals inside of the United States. I guess that's kind of, I thought I was going to editorialize a lot more, but just to say, okay, I have another idea too, guys. I do want to mention this, and this is me thinking outside of the box, which we've got to do. I'm getting attacked so bad. My condo is a torture chamber. I walk outside, I'm still hearing the V2K. And that's also a sonic attack, acoustic attack, or microwave attack. The microwave hearing effect. It is horrifying, brutal torture. I watched one of Brian Two's videos tonight. Please watch his videos. Please put up prayers for him to get out of Ecuador, and to get to a safe place. He is getting brutally tortured, and he is a TI brother of mine I care a lot about. He gets a lot of great information out. This stuff, non-TIs, and TIs know this, but non-TIs, this stuff goes a lot deeper than just, acoustic attacks to the ears or something like that. These attacks could be, could be a signal, because in TIs they're surveilling. They're using remote neural monitoring. They're surveilling the body, and it causes pain. The things that they do, the frequencies they use, cause pain to the brain, nervous system, and body. So when I look at this story, I say those State Department workers were being surveilled. They were being surveilled by remote directed energy. That somebody in Cuba, I don't know, a lot of people say maybe it could be Russia, maybe it could be, pro-Castro Cubans. We really don't know, and I don't want to speculate on that part of who did it, because I think they're going to probably look into this and, maybe get some better conclusions on that. But I look at this story and I say they were surveilling. They were using remote neural monitoring things to surveil those State Department workers. So please connect that in your mind. The mind direction aspect of this directed energy, they may have been trying to influence the minds of the State Department workers to do certain things, or they could have just been, harassing them with it. I'm not sure. But the way that this equipment works, it goes a lot deeper than just some sounds bounced at your head. They're doing a lot of things. They're getting a lot of information and data from the brain and the nervous system when they do this. Just like, data goes to a cell phone or from a cell phone. They're trying to do that with the nervous system in the brain. Now, my out of the box idea, guys, is this. We start, non-TIs and TIs alike. If you want to help me with this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call CNN, and this article is by Elise Labott, Patrick Oppman, and Laura Corin. Now I'm going to start calling CNN, and in relation to the Cuban embassy attack, I'm going to tell them my symptoms and ask them why they aren't doing a story on targeted individuals who describe the same exact symptoms. So I'm going to jump all over this. Now, if you're a TI, there's a lot of things you can do with this story. You can make a video about it on YouTube, put it on Facebook, put it on whatever social media that you're on, connect it to our situation. It is definitely connectable to our situation. Don't feel like you're putting the cart before the horse if you do that. This definitely has to do with what targeted individuals are going through all over the world. What happened to these State Department workers? So I've read it, and I just know. There's no doubt. So there, you can either make a video about this. Please do that as a targeted individual, or let's call these news agencies. Let's call these mainstream media, outlets, even maybe local news, and say and mention the Cuban embassy attack, and then mention our symptoms as American citizens. Let's just hit it. Let's strike while the iron's hot, while the story is in the minds of the American public. Alright guys, this is kind of just an initial video on this. Sorry that the editing's not that great. It's just my camera phone in the article. But I feel like this is a good, another TI, That Gang Stalking Show. His handle is That Gang Stalking Show. He has a great video on the Cuban embassy attack, so please check that out. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it. But I will be back very, very soon, making many more videos, because I'm getting just tortured, cooked alive with the microwaves, the high-pitched sound in my ears. I'm attenuating, but it's a battle every day, as every TI knows. It's a battle every day. God did give me strength to get through this video, though, because I barely was able to get out of bed, and he gave me strength to do this. I was very shaky on whether I would be able to, even talk, but praise God on that. Alright guys, I love y'all. I'm going to leave it at 30 minutes. I'm going to try and get it up in one chunk. I've been trying, but failing. My attackers are all up in my computer. They're hacking all up into my computer and stopping me from doing things. But I'm going to keep on trying until I get it. This may be in 2 parts. But guys, y'all heard me on this one. Please check out this story. If you have a channel, kind of delve into this story. Talk about this story, guys. All right, I love y'all, and I will see you on the next one, definitely.